Hey, David here. Here we are at the Tangfu Printing Museum. It's an old printing press factory turned museum. Let's go and check it out. This is Manager Wu of the Tangfu Printing Museum. 吴主任好。
你好。
So, Manager Wu, can you show us around?
可以啊，欢迎，请跟我走。
好。
Lead casting is reminiscent of decades of heartwarming sentiments in printing, its culture conveying nostalgia and continuing the history of yesteryears.
目前有5件机具被台南市政府列为一般服务。
From casting and formatting to paper cutting and printing, it cannot be more well equipped here. How was printing ever possible in an era without computers?
This is a hot metal typesetting machine, and it's actually used to produce the type pieces used in the letterpress. You can actually melt lead slugs here, and then it injects into these molds, and you make typesetting pieces out of this.
There must be thousands of type pieces here. What a majestic sight! These pieces on the shelves were made at a time when there were no access to computers. Consequently, printing was done with each word carefully carved, arranged, and aligned, taking into consideration punctuation marks and page margins. Even after such a laborious process, a pre-press proof must be done first.
This is a proofing machine, and it's for making sure that your set pieces are placed correctly before it goes into the printing press.
这边这一台是我们的裁纸机。
Before printing, the papers must be the right size, and the job is done by this paper cutter here, which looks similar to a modern paper cutter, except it is not computerized.
Well, it's a paper cutter, and unlike the ones you have in your office, this one's humongous and it's really old. In fact, it's been listed as a city artifact by Tainan.
After cutting the paper, it is ready for printing.
Oh hey, this is a letterpress machine. Kind of looks like a turntable, but it's actually for printing thicker paper stocks, such as business cards.
This machine here is a miniature letterpress machine that still works to this day.
This is a miniature version of the letterpress machine that we just saw earlier on, and what you do is you just kind of press down with your weights. There it is.
The round disc above has ink on it, and by lifting the handle up, the ink is evenly distributed on the roller. Next, a formatted set plate is positioned and a piece of paper is placed over it. Finally, to complete the process, simply push the handle to the end.
This printing press from the 50s is another one of the city-designated artifacts in this museum, and this guy is perfect for mass-producing flyers like this.
It is a common misconception that letterpress prints are done by the printing actions of a roller. However, this printing machine is different from other letterpress machines. Instead, it implements a method that is more like that of an inkjet printer, with paper placed in the front, which is then processed by the formatted set plate in the machine itself, and the finishing product exiting from the other side. This visit to the printing museum has been an eye-opening experience. It is next to impossible to imagine the era without computers, and when printing relied merely on letterpress pieces. Finding the right characters would be a challenge in itself, let alone managing and organizing so many character type pieces. If a character is not available, one can be made on site immediately. There are 2 casting machines accessible here, one made in Japan and the other made here in Taiwan, which comes equipped with lights, making work a little more manageable. In the early days of the sugar refinery, in addition to making prints for its own use, they also made other prints and flyers. Besides having the type pieces on display, the museum also has a collection of old flyers. Here you can personally experience the fun of printmaking. First, transfer the ink on the roller onto a board, which then goes on another alignment board. Then, after placing a red envelope in position, apply pressure evenly throughout with a baron, which is a disc-like hand tool, to create your personalized red envelope. Now, with the convenience of modern technology, computerized seal making can be done quickly with ease, even giving rise to aluminum seals.
I've learned a great deal about the art and history of printing presses in the Tangfu Printing Museum, and the fact that its legacy remains in the form of modern technology is amazing. And just today, I've made my own little seal, and it says HOT Tainan on it.
In addition to appreciating the display of early printing artifacts and experiencing printing firsthand, it's great fun. You can even create your own seal to capture this memorable visit to the museum.
HOT Tainan 赞